What up, my guys? Up to another show, man. Monday, NBA Talk with Jay, man. We got a couple of game fives, couple game fours in this one, man. We got the Thunder versus the Mavs. And then we obviously got the Celtics versus the Cavs as well, man. Both teams, Celtics up 2-1 in the series. They're on the road here. Mavs up 2-1 in the series. They're at the house in this one. It's crazy. The 1-5 matchup. Obviously the Thunder came in here favored with the series, but these are the games tonight, man. These whoever wins tonight's pivotal game is probably going to win the series. Obviously the Celtics and the Mavs could take a commanding 3-1 series lead in that one, man. So first game up, let's talk about this Cavs game in this one, man. Celtics went out there and smacked them up in game 3 like they were supposed to do. This one's kind of like a carbon copy of that Heat series over there, man. But we know that the Celtics sometimes can play with their food, man. We know that they're one of the best teams in the East over there. But in game 2, like they just got smoked by 24 points. But in game 3, they did bounce back. They went out there and almost covered the trifecta spot. They didn't cover the first quarter by a half point. They covered the first half, covered the full game as well. Got up by as much as 23 points in that game. You see what I'm saying? They got up 71-48 late in that third quarter, and still was a little bit of sweat to going down it. But we heard everybody talking BS about Tatum. What did he do? He came out there 33 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. You see what I'm saying? He did have 5 turnovers, but it's like we live in a different day and age now. Like where if these talking heads on ESPN and NBA TV and all that are gonna be talking shit about the players, they hear about this stuff, man. So they heard Stephen A. Smith talking about Tatum, and he's like, all right, I'm finna go out here and show y'all I can ball. And I can see it continuing here again. I mean, obviously, the Celtics will go as far as Jason Tatum will take them. We know that he has bad games where he looks like he's not even an NBA player. And then when he gets pissed off, he'll have those games like he did in game 3 where it's like absolutely nobody can stop him. We know that without Cavs, without them having Jared Allen as well, it's a little bit easier to get into the paint. Now, Donovan Mitchell has continued to go bunkers versus these guys every single game. Like they cannot stop Donovan Mitchell, but the Cavs' main problem is they never know what they're going to get from Darius Garland or Karis LeVert. Like the Cavs, especially if they had Jared Allen, they could actually match up really well with the Celtics. They got some 3-point guys coming off the bench as well. They got Dean Wade just came back in his last game as well, played 17 minutes, was a plus 12 off the bench as well. So he only had 5 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He was a plus 12. He had the best. It was his first game back in like 2 or 3 weeks. And he came back and had the best plus minus for the Cavs over there. You see what I'm saying? But Max Strus kind of going back to not giving them nothing, or Coro. It's not really giving them much offensively as well. I do expect if he starts once again, Okoro should have a lot better game in this one. I don't know if we could find some Dean Wade props. They might even switch that up and try to put Dean Wade, because if I'm Bickerstaff, you got to make some type of change into the lineup here just to kind of give the Celtics a new look in this game, man. So to be honest with you, don't really have too great of a feel for it. I'd lean towards the Celtics in this game, but I know how they can sometimes play with their food. I do expect Jason Tatum to continue to be pissed off, like, all right, let's go ahead and get this shit over with. So I'm saying I do feel like Tatum goes over his PRA once again, and possibly his points as well. But sometimes, like I say, he'll kind of just like defer to Jaylen Brown, and it'll be Jaylen Brown's game. So it's really tough to figure out when the Celtics are which one is gonna go off, Tatum or Brown. But ever since those comments, you could just kind of see something in Tatum's eyes, like, all right, you motherfuckers want to talk? We down in the series. All right, we know that this is the bounce back spot. You see what I'm saying? So, and what they do versus the Heat, both games in Miami, they put their foot on their neck and was like, all right, the Celtics almost seemed like they were playing a little bit better on the road in this one. So if I'm looking towards the side, I'd still lean towards the Celtics, and I'd still lean towards Tatum being pissed off, being disgruntled, not with his team, but just with the talking heads. It's like, all right, playoff Tatum is here. I'm finna put up another 30 point double on y'all boys. You know what I'm saying? And that should, I believe his PRA is like at 42.5. I know it was last game. He should get over that PRA once again. And then you just wonder which one of the bench guys. Obviously, they're gonna have to have somebody from the bench, whether it's Pritchard, Sam Hauser, or Luke Cornett. Those guys are gonna have to give them some off the bench as well. And then, like I said, I don't know if you could find Dean Wade props, but if he played that well in his first game back, he got 17 minutes. it's almost like that when Okoro wasn't playing that well, then Bickerstaff's like, all right, I need to go to Dean Wade in this one. You see what I'm saying? So if that happens once again, he'll probably have a lot better shooting night. He only went 2 for 6 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, but he still played an all-around great game. And I feel like if he starts to get more minutes and hit those threes, like they might not give us Dean Wade props, but I do think if you can get him to like make at least 1 3 or possibly like over his PRA, if somebody sees some Dean Wade props in the chat, let me know. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it that we're gonna be able to get that. Yeah, they're saying can Jason Tatum hit more threes? My guy has not went over 2.5 threes all playoffs. The whole playoffs, Jason Tatum has not hit threes. And I think he knows it because he was going for him last game as well. He still went 2 for 8. So for whatever reason, even though he had 33 points, he still went 2 of 8 from 3. He has not hit 3 or more threes all playoffs. You see what I'm saying? So if you still like his other 2.5 threes, I'm not going to be the one to talk y'all. I know it's probably juice like at minus 160, but his shot has not been following from 3, but I do feel like he can still get over his points and his PRA today, my guys. Next game up, last game up, the next game 4 in this one. We got Mavs versus the Thunder in this one, man. And man, I know the Thunder are a great team. They're a good young team as well. But just what I say out there, I really think the size advantage for the Mavs are just way too much for them. Like when you're starting to go to a hacker lively, I feel like you mean that just me personally, I feel like if you're going to hack somebody, that means that you can't stop their offense and you're trying to take the easy route out. You see what I'm saying? I know that Dagnall got coach of the year, but like this is the playoffs here. You see what I'm saying? Like some of this little playground shit that's not going to work here in the playoffs, especially versus the Mavs as well. I see them going and fouling lively, and at first they playing tag out there, tag not it. And then Kyrie just told him like, bro, you don't have to do all this shit. Just step up to the line and make your free throws. He went 8 of 12 from the free throw line. So I'm saying if they continue to do that, Lively is definitely going to go over his PRA. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist in game 3. And if they're going to hack a Lively or choose to foul him, he's definitely going to fly over his PRA. His PRA is at 12.5 points. I feel like these guys got way too much size for a PJ Washington, Gafford. You can even throw in Derrick Jones Jr. in there as well. But when you got Lively coming off the bench, I think he's like 7'1", 7'2", they got way too much size for these guys, in my opinion. You see it with the offensive rebounds as well. Mavs had 15 offensive rebounds in game 3, whereas the Thunder only had 6. They out-rebounded them as well, 48-41. So when you talk about size advantage, it's not just about rebounding. It's about shot. It's about them having paint protection and being able to throw off some of these guys when they're trying to go get into the paint. So you got paint protection, you got offensive and defensive rebounding, but also the lob threat as well. We know that Luka and Gafford or either Luka or Kyrie and the Gafford and Lively pick and rolls. Those could be absolutely deadly when it comes to throwing those alley oops to them because they can't really stop it, especially if Chet comes over. If Chet comes over, it can be even Derrick Jones Jr. or PJ Washington. See what I'm saying? So I just feel like they got way too much size down low. Obviously, this is a very pivotal game in the series as well, but something tells me that the Mavs really can protect home court in this one, and this series ends up in game 6. So I look for the Mavs to possibly get the win tonight, the Thunder in game 5, and then the Mavs close it out in 6. In my opinion, that's their only way to win this series. Because if a game 7 in Thunder, a game 7 in Oklahoma City would be really tough for the Mavs, especially with Luka being super banged up as well. Like he shouldn't want to go a 7-game series. Kyrie has yet to look himself. I know he had 22 points in the last game, but if you can take first half props under, Kyrie has averaged like 6 points in the first half of this playoff series. I believe all playoffs as well. You know what I'm saying? The last series as well. He just kind of been like let Luka do his thing in the first half, and then the second half, that's when Kyrie kind of takes over. That's just noticing the patterns right there, man. He's been going on his points prop as well. We know that he has Lou Dort all over him. Dort even got 2 quick early fouls in the last game, and Luka still had trouble shooting from 3. He was only 1 of 4 from 3, only had 22 points. He did have 15 rebounds, but Luka's been going under his PRA and he's been going under his points as well. That's just something to look for. We know that he's not 100% out there, and he's kind of just been deferring to guys like PJ, he's been passing a lot more, deferring to guys like PJ Washington, letting Kyrie run the point guard, bring the ball up as well, man. So, but I do feel like Lively, I feel like Jason Kidd is trusting Lively a little bit more because Gafford only played 19 and a half minutes in the last game, but Lively played 27 minutes. So he's a bench player, but I think it could be a really good spot to target a bench player that's playing more than a starting center over his PRA. You see what I'm saying? So, and even them trying to hack him, doing hack a Lively didn't scare him off as well. So if they do that shit again, he's going to fly over his 12.5 PRA. That would be my best look for this game, man. Lively, I feel like he has a major size advantage. He's going out there getting 8 rebounds as well, 3 offensive rebounds. They can't keep this guy off the board, especially when Chet Holmgren is off the floor. So if I feel like if the Thunder want to win this game, they would have to have Chet on the floor, like literally all 48 minutes, man. And last thing I want to say about this game is game 3, I'm watching it, and the Thunder really had a great game. Like the Mavs didn't have a great game, in my opinion. They didn't have a great shooting game. They just kind of willed their way to a win. Like I believe at one point they had got down like by 8 points. I know right before the half, the Thunder had took a 1-point lead, but the Thunder, like even in that third quarter there, they had some success. They had got up by like 8 points, and I'm starting to get worried about the Mavs, but the Mavs just kind of chip away. They'll call timeouts. It's like, hold on, we're the better team, and they'll just lock in and then just overcome these young guys. You know what I'm saying? Even with SJ balling, going for 31 points, it just wasn't enough, man. Jalen Williams kind of turned his ankle. The bench players as well. Isaiah Joe hit 3 threes. Wiggins, he didn't have the best game, but Kaysen Wallace hit a 3 as well. The bench players even came off and had a great game for the Thunder in game 3, and they still didn't win. And it just kind of shows me like when the Mavs really do play their best game and have one of these games where Luka or Kyrie goes absolutely bonkers and continue to get production from Lively and PJ Washington, it's going to be one of these games that the Mavs are due for a blowout, and we could see it here, in my opinion. So I'd be looking at the Mavs in this particular spot. And I feel like if they want to win this series, this is an absolute must-win game and close these boys out in 5 or 6 games. You can't be playing around with the Thunder. You can't be going to 7 games. And we just kind of see their youth come to bite them in the ass. You see what I'm saying? So the Thunder are a great team. Like they could even win a championship in the next 2 or 3 years. But I feel like that's just me personally. You see what I'm saying? I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I do feel like they're a few years away from being like one of those elite teams. Like in the regular season, they're gonna be elite because they play harder than everybody else. But this is the playoffs where it's like every game matters. And you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if the Mavs want it bad enough, they know that they have to go through OKC. So I'm not a bit surprised that they're up 2-1 here. I'd look for them to take a 3-1 series lead tonight, my guys. So that's the show, man. It's all love. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's kind of I'm not even gonna I don't want to go too far, man, but I'm a little surprised that like over all the years, you know what I'm saying, the support for the show is not as much as it not gonna say as it used to be, but the support for the show is like went way down. And it's cool, but you know what I'm saying, it's like especially when somebody's coming out giving free picks, and we know that some people would just like rather pay for picks. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it is really kind of crazy the support for the show or the lack thereof. You dig what I'm saying? Especially when somebody's just coming out here taking time out of their day, giving you free picks or whatever, or giving you thoughts on the game. But it's all good. I did feel like that's pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like less than 15% of or 20% of the people that watch the show would like support the show. And that's just even like tapping one button. You see what I'm saying? So that is pretty crazy, but it's all good. We'll keep moving throughout the rest of the season, and we'll see if there's some changes to be made for next season, my guys. But in that Celtics game, I do feel like Jason Tatum continues to go off. Once again, they're going to need Pritchard to be their bench guy. And then, like I say, for the Cavs as well, Donovan Mitchell has went crazy every single game. The Celtics don't really have an answer for him. But look for if Dean Wade will continue to play more minutes than Okoro, he could be one of those bench guys. Remember, these bench guys, the rotations are shortening up. So if you can find a bench guy and notice the patterns with them going over their points or rebounds or PRA, that could be something that's really important to target, because the big numbers are going to be for the starters, but they're still going to have production coming off the bench, man. And that's why I feel like Lively as well over his 12.5 PRA is a really great look. Shit, he might get 12 rebounds in this game, man, as well, man. So I'd look for Dallas to take a 3-1 lead tonight. The Thunder are a great team, but I do feel like the Mavs, like they really want to get to the Western Conference Finals, and this game will tell everything right here. If they win this game, they'll be in great position. If they don't, then that means the Thunder might, you know what I'm saying, they might fuck around win this series. So Mavs can be playing at the house. They got to protect home court, and I think they will tonight. And I think Lively will be a huge component of that as well. He's playing a few more minutes than Gafford. If he, like I say, he went for 21 PRA in the last game, and I think he has a major size advantage coming off the bench, specifically when Chet Holmgren is not on the floor as well. They're going to need production from Tim Hardaway Jr. once again. They're going to need production from Josh Green once again. But I feel like the Mavs didn't even play a great game in Game 3, and they still were able to edge out a 4-point win. Some tells me they could have a lot better offensive explosion in this game, but it's all going to be on how the refs call it. I'm telling you that right now. They never call it push off on SGA. It's crazy, man. But let's see what happens, my guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Whatever you guys are betting, best of luck. Go download the Action Network app. It's all free. I hope you guys are take the books to Smack City one time for the one time, man. It's all love. If you like the show, if you appreciate the show, man, hit the like button one time for the one time, just to show that I'm not here wasting my time. And you know what I'm saying? You guys appreciate the info, my guys. It's all love. We out, my guys. I'll see y'all guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm gone.